I'm Tyler Creighton. I'm a third year here at Thomas College. I'm a digital marketing major, and I'm originally from a place called Plymouth, Massachusetts.
So my name's Meredith Wheeler. I study digital marketing management and sport management. I am graduating this December, and I'm from Scarborough, Maine.
My name is Lionel Ray Jr., and I'm a communications major here at Thomas College, and I'm from West Warwick, Rhode Island.
My name is Rajon Munnings. I'm from Turks and Caicos. I'm a junior.
Well, my name is Brita Kenta Kimwana, and I'm a criminal justice major, and I will be graduating in 2023 because I'm a Kids Morgan.
I'm Steven, and today we're talking about the Presidential Task Force on Equity, Diversity, and Social Justice, which was formed this past summer. The goal of this video is to further the conversation needed to be had on how to make campus more equitable, diverse, and inclusive.
As a person of color, really, there's only so much that I can do. Short of getting up on a soapbox and preaching, I can talk to my friends about it, I can help them, I can get them to go vote, but I don't know everybody on campus, and it's impossible to go reach 900 students and even more faculty and staff.
I feel welcomed, but like with diversity and stuff, I feel like there's some things that can be picked up or changed inside the community.
You have some individuals, that aren't accustomed to seeing, me, or whatever it is, so.
People that I know from my school, and a lot of people of color that I know, they don't want to go to this school because of because there's a lot of white people, you know what I'm saying? It does not represent our community for them to be coming here.
My name is Dr. Richard Biffle. I am a professor of education and anthropology here at Thomas College. This is what the 60s was like to a certain degree. I thought perhaps we had moved a little bit further down the road, but I'm beginning to question that sometimes. But the only thing I can do is talk about what we can do to resolve some of these issues.
Because of what's going on in society right now and how people of color are treated, it's like every time you want to raise a hand, it's different. Like you need to prove them a point that you're very different from the stereotypes.
I think the biggest thing that Thomas specifically can do is hire more diverse faculty, specifically because there's not a lot of diversity within our faculty, which obviously will make it a little more, like that's not equitable in general. You walk around and you might not see anyone who looks like you, and that's already putting you in a weird, uncomfortable position going into it.
I think that there are a number of things that we need to start to work on, and perhaps some of this is faculty development, faculty conversations about how faculty deals with this. Again, it's peeling the covers off of things that people don't want to talk about. I see it in my classrooms sometimes when I talk about certain things. I watch students roll their eyes. I watch students deeply sigh, And again, you have to set up a sense of safety in terms of saying things. In my classes, everything is respectful, everything is civil. You can say what you want to say with the notion and idea that people may or may not agree with what you're saying, but you're going to learn the skills of civility in terms of saying it. And that's a tough one, because sometimes what happens is students just simply shut down because they're afraid. They've seen these acts of microaggressive behavior. They've seen people be humiliated. And this isn't the first place they've seen it. They've seen it, where they come from. They may even see it in terms of their families. And those are tough because, again, you've got to figure out what you're going to do. So I think the more conversations we have with each other about how we can address certain strategies, certain kinds of ideas associated with this, but we need to open it up in terms of activities, events that really begin to address this. Because that's the only way you're going to address it. You can't just have Black History Month and think, okay, that's all we're going to do, or Women's History Month and that's all we're going to do. The history of women and African American people is 365 days a year. But we have to get out of these mindsets and attitudes of just days and weeks of celebrating. Why do we need to talk about indigenous people? We have to begin to talk about the history of this country that was never discussed with most of us when we were in schools. And that's come back to haunt us. They've never seen such behaviors. They've never seen such attitudes. They haven't seen this. Your generation, you haven't seen this. I haven't seen this in 50 years. We have a lot of resources here. We're just trying to coordinate the resources. And I think the intent is, this isn't Guilt 101. You know, it's not Bash 101. And I think some people misinterpret that. I think if you present opportunities for people to express themselves, to have a voice in terms of what's going on, then there are all kinds of things that you can do to improve situations. But the first thing you have to do is identify what is the challenge, what is the issue, what's going on.
My dad always told me, you know, just when you go out, you know, watch your back, just be careful, you know who's around you and stuff like that. And coming up here, to be honest, you know, I was a little nervous at first, I'm not gonna lie. But to be honest, a lot of my fears went away when I got on campus and I seen how warming everybody was, and, you know, but I still understand that outside of Maine and outside of where I'm at, that it's not always gonna be perfect, and I'm not always gonna be welcome as an individual everywhere I go, you know, so.
I feel like I still only relate to those friends that I have because they're colored people. I do not relate to the others, you know what I'm saying?
Unless we set up opportunities to at least engage in these conversations, then in my view, it's an opportunity that's lost. I've never been invited to anybody's house for dinner, but we have to really engage ourselves in some deeper conversations about what does all this mean. Because if I can't be invited into your home, what's the point? You get invited into mine.
So obviously, that was a lot of information that we talked about, and it's only a fraction of the conversations that we need to have. However, I want you to know that it was 100% real, and we just wanted to capture exactly how people feel. So stay tuned for more conversations that we're going to be having about this topic.